Perfectly Human with me, Kacey Chong, and today, as you can see, is a little bit different. One, I'm holding the mic instead of like a stand holding it for me, and two, we're chilling on my bed. And I don't think there's a real reason why I wanted to be on my bed. Not because I'm lazy or whatever, because actually this takes a lot more work than it is to be on my desk. Because I have to set up a tripod, put my laptop over here, make sure that I'm holding this correctly, having lighting, making sure that my bed is made. But anyways, welcome back. It's been a while. How have you been? It's summertime. You know what that means. Summer school and grinding on those summer jobs. I want to die. Anyways. So, let's get started. So, for today's... Where the fuck is my phone? It's in my crotch. That's nice. Today we will be talking about gender identity. And the reason why I wanted to talk about gender identity is because, as some of you know, I recently came out as non-binary. I wanted to explain on here more in depth about what it means to be non-binary and just general information about the difference between sex and gender identity and how gender identity doesn't define your sexuality and all that good jazz. So the beginning part probably is going to be a little bit boring. I hope not. I'm gonna try to make this interesting. This is literally the 4th or 5th time I'm filming this episode, and I don't even want to think about it, so I'm gonna just try to vibe with you guys. So I'm gonna be going over some terms. So the first one is sex, and not the baby making kind, the what makes you you. So sex is what your birth certificate says when you're born, based on your genitalia. I don't know why I said it with an accent, but I think it makes things more interesting. Person's sex is based on bodily characteristics, including chromosomes, hormones, internal and external reproductive organs, and secondary sex characteristics. So if you got a penis, your sex is male. If you got a vajayjay, I like how I said penis, not pee-pee, but I said vajayjay. I don't understand myself. If you have a penis, you're a male. If you have a vagina, you're female by sex. If you didn't know, now you do. And gender, specifically gender So gender is based on your identity and expression. So gender is based on a person's internal, deeply held sense of gender, and they express that through external manifestations, and one can do that by their name, changing their name, pronouns, clothing, haircut, behavior, voice, and bodily characteristics. So for me, how I express that I'm non-binary is through my clothes, and kind of like the way I talk. At least I try to. My voice is normally like this low, I guess some people might say, but I got a haircut like months ago, like this what is it called? Undercut. I got an undercut. I thought it would be cool to try a new haircut, and two, it's an easy way for me to be like show my more masculine side with my hair up, and then show my more express my more feminine side when my hair is down. And when my hair is down, it's still pretty short. It's like up to my chin and stuff. But yeah, another reason why I got this haircut. And then, so sexual orientation. So for me, I am bisexual, and anyone's sexual orientation, whether that be gay, pan, bi, asexual, lesbian, it describes a person's physical and romantic and or emotional attraction to another person. Gender identity and sexual orientation are not the same. Whoa, the more you know, bitches. Um, so something that I don't know a lot about, but someone reached out to me and had a conversation with me about is monogamous versus polyamorous. So the more popular type of romantic intimacy with a person is monogamous, meaning you are just interested in one person. So there's two of you in total. Wow, math. And then polyamorous is that you're interested in multiple people. And polyamorous people, or polyamory and cheating are two different things, because with polyamory there's communication and you know that the person that you're seeing is seeing other people, but you come to that agreement. That's why communication is important. And communication is so important in literally any type of relationship, whether that's family, someone that you're interested, your friends, your boss, whatever, your professors, if you're in college like me. Communication is key. Sorry, I'm like very Portuguese right now. Communication is so fucking key. And I probably already said this before, but a lot of issues in people's relationships is communication. But another thing with communication is understanding of where they're coming from. I'm watching this show on Showtime. It's called Couples Therapy. Shout out to Cameron because she got me into it. And I've been learning a lot of stuff. It's interesting how people's perspective is so different and things can be taken in so many different ways, and we might think things, or we might think that we know what a person is thinking, but that's because that's based off our background, what we experienced and how we grew up. But how they grew up and how they experience things is different from how we are individually. So go check it out. Highly recommend. So transgender is an adjective. It's an umbrella term for people whose gender identity and or gender expression differs from what their sex is when they were assigned at birth. So there are some non-binary people that identify as transgender because it's not when you're assigned at birth, because as we all learn, it's based on your genitalia. But for me, I don't think of myself as transgender, because if I were to label myself that would me being assigned female transitioning into a male. But I do not take away anyone who is non-binary and labels themselves as transgender. You do boo, I can get with that. It's just me personally, I do not label myself as transgender. I took a women's studies class this past semester, and I learned that the word mahu, if you're from Hawaii, you would be very familiar with this. Mahu, in today's local language, we use that to describe someone that is acting gay, or a gay man, and is a very derogatory word, and that's not the original definition of the native Hawaiian language. Same thing as hale. Hale doesn't mean white person. Hale means someone that is not from here, a foreigner. Hale is a foreigner, but we mostly use it for white people. I don't know why I did that. So mahu actually means the middle gender, which means that in ancient Hawaiian times, wow, I sound so hale, there was a third gender, mahu. Mahu are people that identify as in the middle, and they express both masculinity and femininity, and they were never looked down upon. They were actually like praised in a way because they were the caretakers, they were the healers, they were kumus or teachers of ancient tradition, and they were in charge of passing the Hawaiian culture through hula and chant, and they were responsible to teach the next generation and ensure that our culture is sustained. But then the lovely colonizers, our American missionaries, they came to our island around the 1800s, and they abolished our mahus, or at least they attempted to. I didn't know that. And a more modern term that is not used but should be used for people that would be categorized as mahu is kane wahine, or wahine kane. And kane meaning male, wahine meaning female. And it's just a gender fluid gender identification. So the word kane wahine and wahine kane was introduced from kumuhina, and if you don't know who kumuhina is, basically what mahus did, ensuring and teaching the next generation of hula and chant and Hawaiian tradition and the Hawaiian language. And now I kind of want to share how I discovered or figured out that I was non-binary. So I didn't realize until recently that for a while, I want to say like couple years now, I tried so hard to not be seen as like female, and how I tried to do that was like the way I dressed, the way I talked, and I didn't realize that I was trying to deny the fact that my gender was female, or that I was physically female in the sense of like sex, and I didn't like being called like a woman or like a female or she or whatever, and I didn't understand why. I knew some of it had to do with like stereotypes, like I don't like that I am perceived as weak because I am a woman, and I know that I cannot be biologically and physically as strong as a man, but I don't like that you already have this is it called prenotion? I don't know words. I tried it. I think that I'm like very intellectual and very smart, but I just literally Google synonyms. What the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, I was straying away from my femininity because I thought that was what made me weak, and I still kind of believe that does make me weak. Not anymore, because now I've kind of like defined who I am, and I established that I can be confident in both being masculine and feminine, and I'm the one in control of how I choose to express myself. So something about me is that I really do not like wearing skirts, and I don't like wearing dresses. I don't know if it's because I went to an all-girls school and we had to wear skirts all the fucking time, but yeah, I just don't care for skirts. I want to know 100% that whatever I do physically, or whatever I do during the day with the types of clothing that I'm wearing, I don't want to worry about like, oh shit, something's gonna show, like my ass, or unless I'm at the beach, then of course I'm trying to show off my ass, or like I don't want my titty to fly, even though I have very small boobs. Obviously, I like to wear baggy clothes. If you know me, I mostly wear baggy clothes. This is a freaking extra large in men. I'm a medium. And it's not because I'm insecure about my body. I'm actually been like working on it recently, and they've been looking good recently. And not gonna lie, but it's just I want to feel comfortable and I want to feel safe and secure. And if I feel safe and secure, that's how I ensure that okay, I can be confident. That's how I secure my confidence. Oh, the moment that I realize that I feel more comfortable identifying myself as a non-binary person. So I was at Whole Foods. I got my non-dairy cream cheese because I'm very, 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 very lactose intolerant. If you really know me, you know the fucking pain that I go through. I literally just had a fucking milk episode. I call them milk episodes because they really do be an episode. It literally lasts up to 24 hours. It's so fun. But basically what happens is that if I consume dairy, it makes my stomach feel horrible. Apparently my pancreas gets inflamed. I still don't understand where my pancreas is, but I know it's somewhere over here in this area. And I get nauseous. And sometimes, like, I'll poop and shit, but mostly it comes out the other end. So I vomit, which is just so fun. And, yeah, not a great thing to go through. Because it literally lasts all day. Like, me feeling sick, I have to stay in bed the whole time. Can't really eat anything or else I'm gonna vomit it back up. So, just a good time. But going back to being non-binary. So yes, I was at Whole Foods and I was with my non-dairy cream cheese and I was waiting in line like a nice customer does, and this guy pulls up to his register, signs in or whatever, and before I go on, I was wearing a bucket hat. I was wearing either these pants or some type of pants, a big aloha shirt like this one, and of course my mask because stay safe during these COVID times. And he looks at me and he says, "Oh, I can help you here, sir." And I was like, oh my god, you think I have a penis? And that was the moment that I realized, holy shit, this is like the first time I feel like I'm being seen, and it's by a white stranger. Yeah, that was the moment that I realized, oh shit, okay, maybe I am non-binary. So I like did my research or whatever, and I was like, yep, I feel like that. Yep, I've been feeling like that. Ooh, fun things about going to an all-girls school. Oh wait, this was not when I was an all-girls school though. But it was a girl birthday party. It was a team party. You know when you're that young and you basically invite all the people in your class because you don't really have like friends, because when you're that young you kind of just like play and hang out with everyone in your class. You don't really establish like a core group. At least that's what it was for me. I don't know if that's just the extrovert in me. But so we went to this tea party, and when you get there, of course your parents drop you off, and before we can have our little tea time or whatever, there's this whole closet room full of dresses and stuff. And you pick out your dress, pick out matching shoes, and you go to the table. And of course, you have to sit very nicely at the table. It can't be like, or whatever. I'm pretty sure I was sitting like this, like I usually do. And okay, so we get to the table, and they're like serving us food, and they said the people that work there said, "Oh, don't touch the food until everything is laid out." So I was like, okay. So they brought out the 3-tiered plate thing. It's not a plate, but you know what I'm talking about. So they put that across the table, and then they start putting out other stuff. And then the last thing they bring out is pizza. See, I don't know why the fuck you would have pizza at a tea party. I don't know if it's because we're like 5-8 years old. So it's like they're kids. They fucking love pizza. So this person, the worker, had it on whatever waitresses have things on, a platter. And she had her tongs, and she was putting it on her plate. And she told us, if your pizza is flipped over on the wrong side, don't touch it. Wait until one of us flips it back over for you. Now looking back at it, if you're using tongs, why is it upside down? It should not be the wrong way. You literally have full control of how it's distributed onto my plate. Not to be a bitch, because I try not to be. But of course, me and my fucking luck, it flips over. And I don't know if it's the Asian household that I grew up in, but I didn't like the idea of having someone do the work that is so easy that I can do instead of waiting for someone else to do it for me. And not only am I wasting their time, but I'm missing this opportunity of like eating or whatever. So I even like sat on my fucking hands. I was like, don't fucking touch it. And what did I do? I touched it. I flipped it over. I couldn't fucking wait for her ass. She took too long to get back to me. And she was like, I told you not to like touch it because now you're all the kind. I was like, dude, we literally just fucking washed our hands. This is a fucking tea party. There's fucking finger sandwiches. There's fruits. I don't know how the fuck you eat your pizza, but I definitely don't eat it with a fork and knife. If you do, that's fine. Don't discriminate. But pizza, if you look up eating pizza on Google, guarantee most of them is them eating it with their hands. And if you don't have hands, I'm sorry, I don't need to discriminate. However you eat your pizza is how you eat your pizza. Anyway. Yeah. So I was like, fuck that shit. Oh, yeah. So when I was still at Marinol, I had like my separate group of friends, and I had like my guy friends, and they never really were like, oh, you're a girl, so you can't do this. I was always like accepted, and we did whatever. I don't even remember what we did, but like one of them had like Pokemon cards, so we would like look at that. I don't know any information about Pokemon. I know I like it, but definitely not an expert. And then I'll be with my girl set of friends, and we would be talking about, I don't know, nail polish, drawing. But even though drawing is genderless, we'll be talking about like foodie racers and dolls and Sanrio and whatever. But I felt like I had a place anywhere I felt comfortable in at the time, or whatever I felt like that day or that moment or whatever. Oh, I remember this one time. So this is like my second year in the all-girls school, and they brought in this person from the DARE program, the Drug Abuse Resistance Education Program. And our teacher, Miss P, she said, you have to sit like this with your legs closed, or like crossed like this, because you don't want to show anything to our speaker. And I was like, dude, I can like sit where however I want, because I was one of the smart people at that school, in the sense of I wore shorts under my skirt. There was never a day where I didn't wear shorts under my skirt. And I didn't understand how people could just like not wear shorts under their skirts. I thought they were crazy. Some of my friends were like, oh, Kacey, you're always like fucking sweating the aloha and shit. Well, we didn't say fucking shit because we're in 5th grade and at a private school. Spreading the aloha is kind of self-explanatory, in the sense of like, if you spread your legs, kind of like spreading the aloha is like, oh, come on in, bruh. If you feel like your sex and your gender do not line up, that is totally fine. And if you're still trying to figure out like, oh, I don't know if I'm non-binary, I don't know if I want my pronouns to be she, they, he, they, or I don't know, let's have a conversation, my dude. Like, I'm down to talk to you. I'm not saying that I'm an expert. I am no ways gonna be like fully informed, but I do know some good sites and or where to get this information from. So let's have a conversation. Just a reminder to all my lovely people, my preferred pronouns are they, them. I know some of my close friends, they forget, but I still love you, and sometimes, most of the time, I'm a little too scared to correct you, but just know my pronouns are they, them. And yeah, if you ever want to have a conversation or want to learn more about things that I've mentioned, or maybe not mentioned but have to do with this, let me know, and I would love to talk to you. You can either DM me, text me, email me, I guess, because I have to fucking look at my emails because of summer school and stuff. But thank you for listening, and thank you for watching, if you guys are on YouTube, this episode of Simply Human. Please like and subscribe, share with all your brothers and sisters, and if there's anything that you want me to talk about next episode, please let me know. And I will talk to you guys next time.